resume the recording first, so it will be better for you. And you see on the right left top, we will open this script file. Okay, so first I would like to explain how to create a project in R. Okay, so look at here on the right top, there is a project none is written on your window. If you see, there is project none in the right top. Are you getting it? Yeah. Diksha, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you just click on that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, when I'm downloading the R Studio, so
Yeah.
which one is the better drive? Like, shall I put it in C drive or some other drive shall I put?
No. You don't change the path. Whatever the default path it is taking, just run it.
So, like in C drive, I'm having my Windows, MS Office, and also let it be there only.
There only in the C drive.
Okay, so by mistake I did in D drive. So I think library I'm downloading. So is it some mismatch is
Yeah,
there?
it will mismatch. It will not get the path. We have to change the path also at that moment. So
So
uninstall it and again do you reinstall that. You have already
I can't
downloaded here.
directly cut or paste.
Hmm?
Can I cut? Can I cut from D and paste it in C?
No. Uninstall it. Go to the control panel
Okay.
and uninstall it. On the
Okay,
D,
sir.
D you could delete from the D also. You try to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
no need to cut paste. Just directly download from Google again.
Again. So it will
Oh,
be there in the C drive.
yes, sir. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Okay. So here you see on the right top, we are getting and we get this drop down menu, and here the new project. So I click on it and it will give me the save workspace, the running project which I have open. Is it will ask about it. You want to save it or you don't want to save it. So I don't want to save it. So I click it on here and you will see there is a new directory pop-up window we are getting, existing directory and version control. Okay, Nikita, what we have to do, I explain you again. On the right top, you see there is this hexagonal R logo is there. Okay, and you click here and you will get one drop down menu. Here is the first option. In the top, there is a new project. So you click on it, you will get this button because it is about the current project which is running here, which is the project none. So I don't want to save it. So I will say don't save. And then I will get the pop-up window, which is for the new project. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
And now there are three options we have: new directory, existing directory, and version control. So version control is not, we don't have to work for the version control, and we will use only new directory and the existing directory. Now I explain you what does it mean by the new directory and the existing directory. If you have already a folder, so you want to create them as a project, that folder. So that is the existing directory. Directory means the folder here. Or if you want to create a new folder where you want to use that project, that folder you want to use as project, so you will use the new directory. Here we create one folder. So I just click here on the new directory, and on the top you will see there is a new project. Just click here, you will get the directory name, the folder name we have to give. So I'm giving the folder name my first session. Okay, this is the folder name. Or this folder name you could browse here. Wherever the folder you want to keep, you could keep in your system. Okay, but here I am putting it on the desktop, so you could easily, you know, approach it. So I am not browsing it. If you want to browse, you could browse it. You could put somewhere, wherever you want in that folder. Okay. So I just create the project. It will take little time. Now you see the project name on the right top, there is a my first session. This is my new project. This is our project file would be there. Now I will show you that folder on my desktop, my first session. Okay, it is now here already. It has been created here, and this is the project file. Okay, so in this way we could create a project. If we don't have any folder, then we could
Sir,
create the folder. Yeah.
sir, this creation of the project must also be in C drive
No,
to.
no, you could create anywhere.
Okay, just installation should be in C.
Installation should be in C.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So is it clear to everyone how to create a new project, in new directory?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay.
hello.
Yeah.
It's not showing on my desktop. It's just on the arrow window.
Is there any problem in your window?
No, it's showing on the arrow window, but not on my computer desktop.
Okay. So yeah, I have tried to create the project. Yeah. Hello, Maria.
Yes. Yes.
Have you tried to create it?
Yes.
But it have been created somewhere else, I think.
Okay, let me check.
Okay, so you again try, click on that and click the new project. And when you click the new directory, the new project, then you see what is the path there. Path is here, you see.
Oh, okay.
So at that folder you could find it. Otherwise, you could create a new project with a new name. You write the new directory name here.
Sir,
and
directory name is not coming.
And
Sir, directory name is not coming. Can you go back once?
Okay.
Yes, sir. Where did you go? New project.
New project.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then write down the directory name. Okay. And wherever you want, wherever in the C drive, on the D drive, whatever you want, you could select that. You could go to there. Suppose I want to put in my D drive now this project. So it is in the D drive, and I am giving new name, our first session. It is now in the D drive. Okay. And I create it. You see, it is our first session. Well, now I will show you this. In the D drive, you see our first session. Are you getting it? And I click on this, our first session is the project. Have you got it? Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, again and again, my installation window is only popping up. I'm not able to open this R Studio.
So
I'm getting the installation window again and again.
Installation window again and again.
Yes.
Okay. So have you installed that R programming first?
Yes, sir. I have done it.
And downloaded and installed it.
Yes.
And then
yes.
you have downloaded this and installed
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay. So what you do one thing. You go on the start button.
Okay.
And here you write the R Studio.
Yes, sir.
And then click on the R Studio.
When I'm.
Are you getting the R Studio?
This message is coming. The program can't start because API MS when I don't know some messages popping up. There is a problem. Okay.
So just a moment. I give you the access so you could share the window here. Okay. So I just stop my sharing here, so you could share your window.
let me
Isa,
just a minute.
just a moment. I am just giving you the access so you could share your window. Otherwise, you could not.
This is the problem. If you can see, you know.
Yes, here is I'm getting your name.
I've done it, although.
Just a moment. I'm giving you access of. Now you share your window. You will get the share options, share screen there. Are you getting it, Isa?
Okay, just
No, no,
Yes, sir,
I have given the access to you. You could share here in the Zoom. Acha, you are using the mobile.
I'm using the laptop, yes, and a mobile for Zoom.
Acha, for Zoom
Is
meeting
it
you are
not
using the
visible?
mobile, but we are not getting
Yes.
properly.
The message is not clear.
It is not clear because the window is very
Okay.
small.
So what should I do?
Just. I see now your that window. Your network bandwidth is low, so we are not getting here.
Okay. Okay, sir. So proceed. I'll do something.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will tell you later. We connect with the team viewer, and we access that thing. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So I again share my window. Now you know that how to create a new project, with a new directory. Now, what I do, I remove this project, not this, that one, previous one, which was on the desktop. This file I am going to remove from here. Now this is no more project with, this is not a project with R, because there is not R project file. This is not a project now. So what I will do, I will create this as a project. There is nothing in this folder. You see, it is empty. Okay. So what I will do, I will just click here on the right side and new project, and with existing directory, I have the folder. I want to make that as a R project. So I will just click existing directory, and where I want it, that is that file is in the desktop. That is my first project file name. Folder name is my first project. So I will just click here and open it. So I will get here and create project. It is now my first session. So now I will show you again that folder. Here see my first session, my first session I will show you at the desktop. Desktop, where it is, you see, it is my first session. Got it? You could use this also, Isa. The one on the chatbot, the Mobology Bankole is written that something the RS2 from this link, AmazonNows.com. You could also download from here. This link is in the chat box. Somebody has shared. It is also a very good link. You could download from here and install it.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you so much.
kindly please share how you created this my first session file?
What, Sumray? Yeah.
You have created this my first session folder. Please show this again. It is not clear to me.
Okay. My first session folder is on the desktop, and that was the blank folder. Okay. So I again do that. So I just remove this. So it is no more project for R. Okay, it is not a R project now because there is not that R project file in this. Okay. So what I will do, I will just close the project first. I could not close the project. I had to close the project first. So there is no project now. So I will create a new project with existing directory, and I just browse it, and I will go to the desktop. There is that directory, that folder I have, my first session, which is blank now. I open it and I create the project. Got it? This is my first session. Is there any doubt now?
Okay, thank you so much.
So this is the project I have created. Now, how we open the project in R? Okay. Suppose I want to open my previous project, that is our first session. So it is here, whatever the project you are using continuously, you will see here. But you could also use the open project, and you could go to the path where your project is kept. So here see my first session. I will click here and I will click. This name should be here. Eh? So it will open our first session. Okay. It is in the D drive. Got it? So in this way, you could open the project. One more way to open the project is I just close this. Okay. And then what I do, I go to the first session folder, double click, and I double click on this hexagonal R is written, the R project file. It will automatically open the R with the same project. Does that make sense to you? You directly open the project from the folder also. No? Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir, it is clear. Thank you.
So there are two ways to create the project. One with existing directory or with new directory. Okay. Or there is two ways to open the folder. Is we could select through the path, or we could go to the folder and double click on that R project file, and it will open with R. Okay. So we have two ways for both. Okay. So why we create a project? Because if I create a project, suppose if I create, if I open one project like R fundamentals, you know? So if I open this project, what will happen? All the files in that folder I could see here. And .r is the script file. This script file is the .r. Okay, if I remove this, I close this all, and I delete this. Brush I will use to remove this everything from my global environment. And if I want to remove the thing from the console, so I put the cursor on console and Control L. I will use the Control L. That is short key. You note it down. Control L will remove the elements from console. Will remove the elements. Whatever the thing in the console will be removed. Okay. Control L. And here in the global environment, you have to use the brush. So you could remove the element, whatever the object you have given, accessing the object here in the global environment, it will be removed. But don't delete anything from here. If you click it and you delete, it will be removed from your system. Okay, so don't do this mistake. If I click and I just delete, it will be removed from my system. Okay, so don't do this activity here. And here we see the plots what we will produce, the plots we will see here, the packages what I have in the R. So some default packages you will get already, and few packages we have to install. So I will explain you what packages we have to use, what are the uses of the packages. Here is the help option. So you could write and you could see what help you want. Here is the for the interactive graphs. Okay. So here we have the R fundamentals. So R fundamentals, if I want to open a script, so it is the R fundamentals first script I
And
am
sir,
opening
what
here.
about
Yeah.
sir? What about in this history connection tutorial and environment?
Environment, I will explain you. Whatever you give the access the value to any object, it will show here. It is in your environment, R environment. Okay, I will explain you. Just give me little time. And the history, whatever the command I have used, it will show here in this project. Okay.
Yes.
I have the 212 more entries. These are commands I have run in the past few days in this project, particular project. Connections is a different thing. I will tell you later about the connection. The tutorial, you could see the tutorial, the start the tutorial, you could learn the things of the R from here also. But I will explain you about now this R. Now I will open one new script. So I will click here on the left and there is R script. And I click on it. So I will get a new script here. Okay. Whenever you have to write the comment in R, you have to use the hash button. And whatever you write after hash, it would be treated as a comment. R will not read it. And R will not take any action on this. Okay. So if I write my first session, got it? It is that. Now, so if I run this, if I put a cursor somewhere on this line, if I try to run this, I will not get anything in the console or anything in the global environment also. It will not affect. If I just select it and run it, it just print that line. It will not take any action on that. Okay. But if I write my without hash and I run this, so we have another option, the short key for run the script. If I use the enter, it will enter only. It will not run in the script. But if you are doing in the console, then it will run. If you enter in the console, it will run and give you the response. If I write the my here and I run, so it will give the my object my not found. And if I write here something else like you and I run this, so I have to use this button, or I could use the control then enter, write it down, this short key, control enter. So it will run. Okay. You put the cursor somewhere in the line and you use the control enter. So
Excuse me,
your
sir.
object is not found. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. The first one, my first session. After I clicked on the hash key, there is this line and like dash before my first session. Mine is not showing the dash. After I clicked the hash, I
Okay,
can't
so
see
it is
it.
the shift then equal. Sorry, it is the equal sign. Equal sign I am putting there.
Yes, like the equal sign. It's not in my home.
You are
Oh,
not.
am I supposed to click on the equal sign?
Yeah.
Okay, how many times?
Now you are getting the equal sign there. Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. Am I supposed to click on the equal sign after I clicked on the hash sign?
Hash, first we have to use the hash, then we have to use the equal sign. I am just for the decoration. It is for the decoration only. It is not any work.
Oh, all right.
It is just
Thank
I
you,
am
sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Because I want to show you the heading,
Excuse
so I
me,
just
sir.
decorating it. Yeah.
Sir, I'm not even getting this, my first session written in the first line.
This one.
The very first line, like I'm not getting it in first line, my first session.
Okay, my first session. Okay. It is just the heading I am giving to this script. Okay, I just want to give a title to this script.
Okay, you have wrote it by yourself.
Write it myself. I just, whenever you have to write the comment, it is a comment. It is not any
Okay.
syntax or the function what we are using in the R. You know? So it is a comment. Comment will not read the R. R will not read the comment.
Okay.
Okay. R will not take it seriously.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
It will not considered by the R. Okay. If I write the hour and I run this without hash, I have not put the hash here, and I just run this, so I will get the error. Object hour not found. R don't know what is hour. If I put the hash button here, if I put the hash here, sorry, just a moment. And then I run this, I will not get anything. R will not entertain it when I use the hash. Okay. R will ignore it, what you have written after hash, or don't have any. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir. I get it now. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what is the use of global environment? I explain you first. And this global environment we have, somebody asked me, I am assigning X a value 5 or 7. I say. If I enter it, it will not work. It will just, I am typing and okay, it is not doing anything. If I have to run it, then I have to put the cursor here, or I have to click this button, press this button, run. Then it will run. Now you see in the global environment, X we have assigned 7. Value of X is 7. So if I ask what is X, I put the X, and we have a short key to run the script. I have explained you, Control Enter, or either I could use this button. And I have 2 options. So I will use the Control Enter, and I will get the value is 7. X is 7. No, here is no header file. It is not a data set basically, Archana. When we use the data set, then we have an option. We have to use the header, or we don't want to read the header in the R. That is in that data set, the Excel file or whatever you will use there in R. Okay. It is the script only. It is the script. We are writing something. Okay. And we are running those commands, and we are getting the output. Okay. So the script is everything. Yeah. So you see, X is 7. It will show me what is this one.
Excuse me, sir. So to run the command for the every time I need to select the command for running the command basically. If I'm
no, you could, if you have so many command, you could select all the command once and you could run it all together.
But sir, for into my system, when I need to select that command and then I have to run it, else it is going to take me to the next step. That means if I'm giving the command on one and keeping a cursor at the end of the command, when I'm running it, it directly jumps to the second point.
If I am putting here and I run it, so it will give me it will take me the second point. Control Enter. If I use the Control Enter, it will run this. If I want to run the all
But-
commands together, I have so many commands suppose. So I will show you later on. When we write some commands, then I will show you
Okay,
how
sir.
to run all the commands. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Hello,
what is
sir.
this one?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Kadima?
Please, how can we save the console?
What? Please, you little loud. You
The
can.
console, can we save it?
Hmm?
And then open. Can we save the console and open another one?
Console.
Console,
You want to open?
console.
This is the console, no?
I want to save the console. To save it.
You can't see it. Just a moment.
To save.
Please, you write on the chat board so I could better understand. I am not getting your voice properly.
Sir, she want to save the console. She want to save the console. She's
Acha,
asking
want to
about
save the console could not be saved. We could not save the console. We could save the script. This file we could save, but this console we could not save. Understand? Okay. We could not save the whatever we have got the output in the console. We could not save it. Okay. But we could save the script. What we are writing the command, we could save it. We could
Okay,
save the
okay.
script and output both, but in a different format. That is a markdown. Okay, markdown. I will show you. This is markdown. I will tell you it about later. I will tell you about this. Here you will get the command as well as result. Whatever you are getting in the console, but together. Or if you don't want to show your commands, your syntax to the person, so there is an option. You will show only the results. Okay. So that is a different class we will take in the advanced section about the markdown. Okay. So what is this one I am asking? I am going to tell you. This is the position of the element. This is the first position of the element. This is the first. Only there is only one element, or the first element is 7 in the X. Okay, I will tell you later about this one also. Now I am taking another variable Y. We have two assignments symbol. One is the equal and another is the alt minus. If you press, you will get smaller than days. Alt minus, note it down. Alter and minus. Alter minus. Alt minus. You will get this assignment sign. I am writing here 5 and I run this with control enter. So I am getting in the global environment y is equal to 5. And this command has been printed in the console at the same moment. But I am not, it has not shown me what is y. If I want to know the y, so I have to write down the y, then I will use the control enter. So I will get the y is 5. Does that make sense to everyone? Because x and y are the object name. X and y are the object name. Or object name should be always very short. It should not be big one. Or it should not be start with any numeric value. If you have to give the object name like this 1 dot more.
So what does the symbol resembles?
This symbol is for the assignment. This is also for the assignment.
So less than like thing?
Okay.
No?
Equal is also for assignment to object. It is also assigning for the object. Both are same, no problem. But this is in the good practice. If you use this symbol, it is a good practice. Okay. So if you are using this name, object name, 1 dot more, or I am writing here 2.54. And I run this. See what happens. You see, we are getting some error. It is not going in the my environment, 1 dot more. It's not here. It is giving me error in the console. Unexpected symbol 1 dot more. So don't write the object name with numeric, with any number. If you have very essential to write the 1, then you write the 1 in this way. Got it? In a letter form. If you have very essential to write 1. Don't use the number there in the beginning of the object name. Now if I run, I will get here 1.mar is 2.54. Now it is in my global environment. There is no error. And don't make object name too long. One dot more dot object. It is a very big name.
Sir, instead of dot, we can use the underscore sign too.
Underscore you could use any sign. You could use this also.
So sir, ultimately for assigning any value, we need to put up equal to.
No, equal to or this sign, both. You could take these also. Anyone.
Done,
The
sir,
same
done.
thing, same thing. Okay. So don't make too long object names. Object names could be short, not like this one more object. It's a very big name, or you have to use again and again. So you could do somewhere the spelling mistake. Okay, it will. You have to type more. So always use small object name. The abbreviation always use. Second thing, I explained you that in the beginning you could not put the number, but you could use the number at the end, more dot one. That is okay. There is no problem.
So why does the order change in the global environment?
What?
I mean the 8th, 9th and 11th scripts goes up first place, no?
Number should not be on the first place. No, starting of the object name. It may be later in the end of the object you could write the number. Okay, one dot more dot one. So there is
Sir,
no mistake.
Sir, why?
That is a algorithm of R. If you write the number first, it will not treat.
Sir, okay, it will not read.
So there is an algorithm is like that in the R. Okay, but in Python you could not even put dot. In Python you could even put dot. There is a dot has a different function. Okay, so you always have to use the underscore in Python. Understand? But here in R we could use the dot and underscore whatever you want. So this is a way we could write the number at the end, but we could not use the number in front. That is the for the object name. Object name should be short, should not be too much long. And we have to use again and again. That's the thing. Understand up to now how to give the object name. Okay. So what we are going to study here in this session, we are going to study about the data types, and every programming language has a different data types. Here also we have a different data types. We have a 6 types of data types. We have the 6. So I will explain you about the data types. First data type is a vector. Second data type is a list. Third data type is a matrix. Fourth data type is a array. And fifth data type is a data frame, which we use in mostly. And the sixth data type is vector. These 6 data types we have to study first. So first we see what is vector. So as I am giving x is equal to 7 and y is equal to 5. This value I have given to x and y, and we see what is x and what is y. We want to know is X is vector or not. So there is a function is dot vector. This is for asking whether it is vector or not. So it will respond us in true and false. Logical response it will provide us. So I'm asking about X. Is dot vector X? So it is telling yes, true. It is a vector. If I ask about Y, it will respond me true. It is a vector. Now vector has a different classes. As we have studied in the first session, the classifications of the data. We have seen over there is a numeric vector, there is a character, and there is a logical. So these are the classes. So I will just ask about the class of this, class of X. So X is a numeric class. Does that make sense to you? So if you have a numeric class, you could perform mathematical operation with the numeric vector. Is it clear? And now my voice is okay. Now is it breaking or not? Because there is an internet problem everywhere. Here also it started from last few days. 1 week we are facing some problem in the internet.
So you're audible clearly.
Last week I have not taken any session because of there was a problem in the internet connection. So 3 to 4 days there was no internet in my home. So I will complain it because in the daytime I had a session and there was also some problem with the voice was breaking, the internet was going and coming. So,
sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
The is vector, if there's no full stop in front of that is, the function will not be performed. Is dot vector, to know if X is a vector, you put is dot vector X. If
is
the
dot vector.
If the full stop, it will it not work?
The is dot vector will work. No? It is a function basically. Is dot vector is a function we are using.
Sir, she is trying to ask if I don't put the dot, what will happen?
And it will not work.
Okay.
It is a function. Is dot vector is total is a function.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You have to use the dot. It is complete. It is a function. Function name.
Hello.
Is dot vector. Yeah.
So basically, e dot vector is in syntax basically.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's the complete function name basically. Okay. And we perform some operation with these vectors. So we perform the X plus Y. And I will see that it is 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. X minus Y, I am getting 2. Okay. X into Y. For multiplication, we will use the asterisk sign. So I am getting 35. 7 5s are 35. For division, I will use the forward slash. So I will get 1.4. And there is one more option I will explain you. If you want the remainder or the modulus, we could say, that is the X percent Y. So if we divide 7 by 5, we will get the 2 as remainder. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Percent is for the remainder. I explain you how we got it. So this is the X oblique Y. So it is the other thing. So if you divide the 7 is X and 5 is y. So say 5 1 time 5, and if you deduct this, this is a 2. 2 is that. Got it now, Megha? Okay. So we are getting this remainder. If someone mic is on, please you mute your mic. Whose mic is on? Is it clear? If you have to take the exponent or the power, so x to the power 2, x is 7, so it should be 49. We have another option, x percent y, 2, sorry. 2 times asterisk we could, it's not percent, asterisk. 2 times we could use the asterisk and we will get the power. X to the power 3. Or we could use the cape also, no? X cape 3. These two options we have for getting the exponents. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. This all we have studied about the single element vector. Every vector in a data frame is a column. Anmol, you asked about what is the database and the vector. I will show you one default data frame in R. Okay. R has many data sets. So how you get the list of that data sets? So data you have to write and keep the parenthesis blank and then control enter, you will get the list of all the data sets. These are all the data sets names. So we are using the empty cars here. Motor trend car road test data set I am going to use here to explain you something. Okay. So I am giving some name to this data set, that is the
Can you
MD.
repeat what you said? Every data, every
Vector.
Yeah, every vector in data frame is column.
Every vector is a column in a data frame.
Every vector is a column.
And every column is a vector. We could say that in a data frame.
Okay, every column.
And whatever the column you have in the data frame, they are all vectors. Understand?
Okay, every column in a data frame is a vector, right?
You see here I have this MD. 32 observations and 11 variables are there. Okay. If I show you this data frame, so you will see it is my data. This is a data frame. Every column, mileage is a vector here. Cylinder is a vector here in this data frame. Displacement is a vector. Every column is a vector. Understand now? But in column, you say there are multiple values, but we have created the vector with a single value, single element. We have two options to view the data. One, you could click here on anywhere in this. Okay, I remove this first, and again I click anywhere. You will click, and you will get here on the data. First, second option we have. You could write the view. V is capital here. It is a case sensitive language basically. And you write the empty name. So we will again get this. Got it? You could use the syntax also view, or you could click on here. Does that make sense to everyone?
Sir, how did we get this data, MPG?
And this data, it is the default data set in R. There are so many data sets you see here. Okay. So I have selected one. We could get it. You could give any object name to data. I have given MD. MD, I use the abbreviation of my data. I could write the my data. Okay, one object name I have to give. So I am using MD. MD is also the short form of my data. So I always use MD.
And sir, how we are assigning like empty cars, like in the given data set, we can, how we are assigning that?
We are
How we are selecting the data basically.
So I have just see the name that you see. I have selected it because mostly I use this in the R foundation. It is a very simple data set, a small data set. So the participant could easily understand the things in this data set. So I have choose this one. We have so many data sets. So you see here the list I am showing you. Different. You could use this Euro also. You have Iris data set with this, which is for the leaves. So we could use the one Iris also. So I give another name DF Iris. You see the Iris data set, 150 observation, 5 variables. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and the species. Setosa, verticolor, versicolor, and one more Virginica. Or if you want to know about this data set which are default in R, you just put the question mark first and write the data name, original data name, and just enter. And this is the motor train car road test. So I will just show you in the whole screen. So how you get in the whole screen? So you have a short key. You write Control Shift 1 if you press Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1 if you press, so your script will be on the whole screen. First window will be on the whole screen. Control Shift 1. Next time you again press this, you will get the original 4 screen. Control Shift 2 if you press, you will get the console in the whole screen. Again you press the same. And Control Shift 3, you will get this third. In this way it will go.
Environment.
This one, no, not this one. This one. Motor train, help. Control Shift 3, you will get this. So here you see the description of that data set. The data set was extracted from 1974 Motor Train US magazine and comprises fuel consumption and 10 aspects of automobile design, performance, 32 automobiles. And that data frame with 32 observation, 11 numeric values. And we have the 11 variables with the numeric. The class is numeric of the all variables. So first variable is the first column is the mileage, miles US per gallon. Second column is the cylinder, number of cylinders in the car. Third column is the displacement in cubic inch. Fourth is the gross horsepower. Then DRAT is the real axle ratio. So you will get the detail of that data set here. Got it? Any data set. If you want to know, I just do it. If you want to know about Iris data set, just put question mark and write the Iris. You will get the all detail here. Okay. So we have chosen that empty cars and we have given one object name MD. So it is now as a MD in my data global environment. And every column is a vector. Okay. So we have seen that in a column there are multiple values. There is no single value in each column. Know that? I will repeat the shortcuts. Control Shift, then 1, Control Shift 2, Control Shift 3, Control Shift 4. In this way you use and you will see what happens. And again you want the same thing. Do the same, or if you if you have done somewhere mistake, you go to here, view and pens, and show all pens. You click here, you will get the all 4 windows. Got it? If mismatch, sometimes it mismatch, you are not getting the all 4 windows. Then you go to the view and you see here the pens and the show all windows. You click here, you will get the all 4 windows. Okay. So now we are going to create a multiple vector. First, I am going to create a vector, very simple vector. One is to 50. You see here, I am getting the 1 is to 50. I just do it. Are you getting it? 1 is to 50. So I'm getting all from 1 to 50, all the numbers. These are the integers. I will show you more thing. I give some name to this. I give I. And I am using 7 to 100. And I reduce the width of this window. And I will show you I we have 1 to 94. We have total length. And these are the values. And I want to print this. Whenever we write in the console, that is a print. We print I in console. So we are printing it. So you see, we are getting this thing. Now I want to show you, this is very important. This square 1 is the first element position is first. Here the position of 22 is 16 position. Understand? It is the 17 position, 18 position, 19 position, 20 position. Understand this thing? What does it mean? 46 is the position of 52. First element position it will show you. Got it? Is there any doubt? What does it mean? 61 is the position of 67. Then it is the 62 position, 63 position, 64 position in this way. So always the square bracket shows the position. Okay. Now we create some multiple element vector. For multiple element vector, we use the function combine. Or that is the sort is the small c we will use for that. We will not write the whole combined word. We use the small c only and use the round brackets. And then we write whatever element you want.
Sir, here what does the C means?
C means combine.
Combine.
Function name is combine. Okay. For multiple vector, you have to use the C. For single vector, we are not using it. Okay. For multiple vector, whenever more than one, then you have to use C. If there are two elements, then you have to use C. Okay. And I run this. You see here, X is, there are 7 elements, 1 to 7 position is there. First position there is 2, second position 6, third, and this way. Got it? If I want to print it, I will just write the X and I control enter, I will print it. The vector is always printed in a horizontal form, not a vertical one. Okay. And I want to access some item from this vector. I want to access this 0. How could I access this? So I will use the square bracket always. In R, the indexing starts with 1. In the other programming languages, indexing starts with 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here in R, it starts itself with 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth position. So I will write here the position of 0 and I could access the 0. So you see the 4 position in the console, I am getting 0.
Sir, why we are not using the parentheses instead of the square brackets?
So it is, we are using the, we are mentioning the position only. No?
For position, we use square bracket.
You also see here the position, it is telling us the position of the element. Okay. Whenever you use the position, you have to use this square bracket. हाँ, 1:94 means 1 to 94. Correct. Vijayan. Understand? Now I want to substitute something else from instead of 0. I want to put, I have wrongly written there 0. It was 10 actually. So I could modify it. I just, at the 4 position, there would be 10. I just write here and then I print the X. You will see there is 10 instead of 0. Got it? We have substitute 10 instead of 0. Yeah. We want to substitute something. Instead of 3, you want to substitute 13, suppose. So what you will do? Let me tell me, Fidelma, can you tell me what should I write in the square bracket? What number should I write? Instead of 3,
Right,
I want
5.
5. You count?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Sir,
6.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it is wrongly I have written 3. I want to change it 13. So I just assign it 13. Got it? It's very simple. And I run this. And then I run the X, I print the X. I will get the 13 instead of 3. Got it?
Thank you.
Does that make sense to everyone? In this way, we could access the element from a vector, or we could change the value of the vectors. Okay. One more thing I am going to write. I am using one more vector, and that vector I am using this vector I am creating, and I will show you this vector. Oh, what happened to this? Something wrong? I have not written C here. What it? One more thing which is very important, I will explain you. Suppose I run this. You see in the console there is a plus sign. Yeah, are you getting that plus sign there? And if you try to run this, it is not running. So sometimes we run this and we get the plus sign, and the prompt sign is this, greater than. If there is no prompt sign, you can't run any command. So there is a plus sign, and then you want a prompt sign instead of plus. So you put the cursor over there near the plus value and use the escape button. Use the escape button. If once it don't work, use second time. You will get the prompt sign. Why it happens? Sometimes incomplete command we run. So it happens. If your command is complete, there is no mistake, then it will run properly. It will give you the next prompt sign. It is ready for take the next command. So if I show you, this is my second. Now I do X plus Y. You see it is x plus y. It is correspondingly, it is adding on. 2 plus minus 3. So 2 minus 3 is minus 1. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 0 is 1. And 0 plus minus 5 is, it is the 0. The fourth one, or here the fourth one is minus 5.
Sir, the 10 now, because we have changed the value.
Oh, 10. Yeah. We have changed it. I am reading that one. Correct. So we have changed it. I run this again, so we could not be confused. Okay. So it is like that. We are getting now here minus 5, because the 0 minus 5 is minus 5. And 8 plus 1 is 9. And 3 plus 4 is 7. And 7 minus 1 is 6. Correspondingly, it will work. So whenever we use this sort of data frame, what we do? We do the operation correspondingly. Always do in this way. Okay. Or mostly we do in this way. So we could perform that. We could perform the operation in this way, getting the summation of the mean, and that is okay. That is a different thing. I will explain later. Generally, we perform in this way. So that is the way the corresponding it will take the addition. If we are adding the 2 columns, so correspondingly it will add the values of 2 columns. Okay. Now, x minus y, if I take, I can take the x minus y. In this way, we could perform multiplication, division, everything. But if I remove 2 items and I run this, there are 5 items only. In the x, there are 7 items. In the y, there is 5 items only. And I want to do this operation, perform this operation. What I am getting? I am getting an error. X plus y, longer object length is not a multiple of shorter object length. Shorter object length is 5 and the longer object length is 7. 7 is not the multiple of 5. So what I can do? Otherwise, I could remove 2 elements from here, or I could add 3 elements here. Now it is the length 10 and the y length is 5, and I try to perform, so I am getting the result. What it is doing? First it is adding this, and then it is again shifting to here and again adding this. Got it?
Sir, no, sir. I didn't get it.
I will explain you this. There is a 2, 6, 1, 0, 8, 3, 7, 6, 1, 3. This is our x. And in y, we have only minus 3, 8, 0, minus 5 and 1. So it will perform with this, and then again it will be here minus 3, 8, 0, minus 5, 1. Now you got it?
Yes, sir. We got it now.
Okay. In this way, so it take the same. Yeah. The smaller one repeated and added. So that is the way we could do it. One more thing which I would like to explain you. I add few number here. It is the 7 elements now again. And I want to know y is greater than 0. This is a logical response I will get. And now why we have different value minus 3, 8. The some are greater than 0, some is less than 0, 1 is equal to 0 also. So I'm asking y is greater than 0. So it will respond being true and false. So I am getting direct response because I have not given any object name here. There is no equal sign. There is no assigning symbol is there. So first is not greater than 0. It is the -3. That is false. Second one is greater than 0, 8. It is true. Third one is not greater than the 0. It is itself 0. So it is false. Fourth one is negative. It is false. Fifth one is positive. It is 1. 7 is true. Sorry, true. Then -2 is false. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. One more thing. I give some object name to this. I give an object name L. And I run this. And then I print the L. So I will get the same thing because now it is with the object name. And what I do, you see here now. I have a response in a true and false, but I want the response. I want a binary response, 0 and 1. 1 for true and 0 for false. So how I could get it? So I will use as.numeric. As.numeric, not the is.numeric. As.numeric. L. I could write here some other object name also. I could write the B, or I could take the same one. So I write the B, binary. And I run this. And I will show you the B. Got it? Automatically it will convert 0 and 1 as .numeric. Does that make sense to everyone? If it is logical. If it is logical, it will convert in 0 and 1. False will 0 and true will 1. One more thing I would explain. Yeah.
But it will convert it into Boolean values.
Boolean value.
Boolean.
I will explain one more thing. I am making one number in quotes, single or double quotes, whatever. Okay. I have not explained you about the character vector. So first I explain you the character vector. Character vector, if you have to create a character vector like X, you have to write the India. So it is a character vector. If we see the class of this, it is a character. Character is in the quotes. It may be either single quote or the double quote. No problem. If you are making multiple so class would be the character. Now what I am doing, I could not convert them in numeric. But here I have a numeric vector, but one number I have written in quotes. And I run this. And then I see Y. So you see every number is in quotes. So if you put only one number in quotes, it converts the whole vector in character. So if I see the class of this Y, so it is a character class. Now I could not apply an arithmetical operation here on Y because it is a character. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah. Now I want to use some mathematical operation here. And that is not possible for me. There are thousands of rows in my data frame. How could I remove one by one quotes? So I just use the s.numeric function here also. I'm using the same Y name and s.numeric Y. And now I will show you the Y. It is without quote, or we could see the class of Y now. So it is numeric class now. Does that make sense to you? So if your variable, your vector is in a logical class, and then you use s dot numeric, if your vector is in logical class, just like L we have seen, okay, it was numeric, it was logical, or we have applied the numeric function s dot numeric, so we have got the binary response automatically, 0 and 1 instead of 2 and false.
Sir, logical means like 1, 2, 3.
Logical means true and false.
True and false. Okay.
If your class in the your object was in the logical format at that moment. Okay, so I again write that thing, L, and x is greater than 0. Okay, and I will show you the L. So L is there is only 3, x not y. We are talking about the y. No? Okay, it is the true and false. It's the logical. If I convert the logical in numeric, so it would be always be Boolean, binary. Got it? So if I convert this, you see that I have given the new name, and I'm converting s dot numeric L, and then I will show you. So it is the Boolean. Does that make sense to you? It is the L. I have given the name. L, the object name. You could write anything, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, whatever mega you write here. That is not 1 or I. Is it clear? I have given the small L there, name, object name. Got it? But it is not a logical, it is somewhere numeric. And numeric values are in quotes. Then you convert them in pure numeric. Numbers are in quotes, you could convert them in numeric. But if these characters, letters in quotes, you could not convert them in numeric. If you try here, X. You will get a error. NS introduced by coercion. Warning message. It will not convert. But these are the letters. These are not numbers. Understand? No, today we will see the data types only, today and tomorrow. Then we will go to the visualization, this all thing. Okay, when we study about the descriptive analysis, then we see the visualization over here. Okay, Mohammed. So this you have got about the vector. Is there any doubt in the vector? How we create the vector, how we access the vector, how we substitute the value in the vector. Suppose I want to remove London from here. I could not remove this. I could substitute some value, but I could not remove that space. Understand? I will show you. There is a MD, we have a file, data frame, and I want to remove dot, this column. So it is very easy to remove the column from a data frame. So MD, and when I put the dollar sign, I will get the drop down menu of all the variables. So I am using dot, and I will use the null in capital. And I just, you see here, I will show you. In the MD, there are 11 variables. When I run this, you will get only 10 variables here. Look at here. There is 10 variables now. If I show you this MD, there is no dot column is there. So we could remove the column, but we could not remove the elements from vector. I could not remove London. I could substitute something. I could substitute instead of that London. Suppose
Sir,
X.
by putting null, how many observation has lost? By putting null,
Null,
how many variables I
whole
lost?
column gone out.
Okay. So, sir,
Whole,
like earlier number of column were
only the one column. That dot column, I have used the dot na, for null. I use the dot column only for null.
okay. And if I want to remove the rows, sir, then
You want to remove the rows?
yes.
Okay, I will explain. First, we see this. We are talking about the vector first. Then I will explain the row also.
Okay.
Okay. So here you see, I want to substitute something instead of London, but I can't remove the space where the London exists. In the third place index. So it is the third index, and if I this system keyboard is it is a NA 1 2 3 X. First I run X, and then it is a London. If I use null here, it will give me some error. It will not work. I could change the name. Instead of London, I could write some other name, other country's name, or I could use NA if I don't have any name in the capital.
Hello, sir.
So now you see that there is NA, but I
Hello,
could
sir.
not. Yeah.
Okay, so I tried it, but the drafts didn't remove from the MD data.
We could not empty it. It is the NA for missing value. There is no value, but there is a space for that. Is it clear? We could fill something over there.
I thought the null is to remove the column draft.
Drop
The draft. The column.
the column dot, no? No, we could not use NA for the dropping for the column. It is for the cell only you could use.
Sir, are we finding the missing values?
Yeah, you could
Sir,
find them.
how I'm not able to get it, because when I run this command, my console is not showing anything to me. Like the null has been assigned to MD dollar draft.
MD dollar dot.
Yes.
You see the command first properly. There is an assignment sign you have put there.
Yes, sir.
Or null is in the capital, or you have put the small one later.
Sir, in the capital.
So in spite of that, it is not working.
No, sir.
The same you have written.
Yeah, yes, sir. I have just changed the name of the data set. You have put MD, I have written data underscore set. So, but still not running.
Can you view your data? Is there that column in your data? Dot.
How? Sir, how shall I view my column in the data set?
Have you read the data first thing? Are your data is in the global environment with the name what you have given? First you see over there.
Yes, sir, it is there.
It is there. How many columns it is showing you?
32 observation of
Hmm?
9 variables.
Oh, 2 variables is less there. You have already omitted 2 variables. There are 11 variables in empty cars. That is the empty cars data, no?
Yes, sir.
So there are 11 variables. So now you see that you view it, you click here somewhere,
Hmm.
that line, and you will view it, what you are getting, how many you are getting there, count in your screen.
Sir, I think on the data set I'm just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 9 columns I can see.
9. So drought is there or not?
No, it's not.
Then how could you remove that? You have already removed it.
Sir, but I didn't remove any.
So again you do one thing. You again read that file. Again read in that way. AMD whatever you have. Again run that first, and you see how many variables it is showing here.
Okay.
How many variables now? Run that line again. AMD is not your global environment, US Siddiq. So just write down the AMD and this, and you run it first. Run it in this way. Put your cursor and run it. Okay. Or you could
Yes,
use
and now I'm getting the 11 variables.
now you use that command for null. Whatever you write in the script, you have to run it. Then it will go to the global environment. Otherwise, it will not go in.
Sir, I don't think so it's working. I can see the drought column, but when I don't think so it's working. When I have run this command, it's not working, the null one.
Now you see how many columns you are getting here in the global environment. 11 or 10?
10.
It working?
Okay.
It's working?
Sir, what exactly we have done? I didn't, means we have omitted that one column.
Your column we have removed from our data frame.
Hello, sir. Mine didn't remove.
We have just removed it. It will not give you anything in the console.
It's still showing 11 variables.
11 variables. So you are removing one. So it will remove from your data set and you will get here 10. If I run this, you see here 11. If I run this, I am getting 10 only. Okay. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I've run it, but it's still showing 11.
Still, there is 11.
Yes.
So you write in this way and run this.
Okay, let me try again.
You try this. And run it. Put the cursor here and run it. You have 11 variables, na? So you want to remove one variable. So what you do, what object name you have taken? I have taken here as MD.
Yeah.
What you have taken the object name?
I used MD.
MD. So you just type here MD, then $. You will get this drop down variable names and select anyone, whatever you want. I want the weight and assign it, control enter. No, sorry, alt minus, or the equal sign you could put here, and then put the null in capital. Understand? Null in capital. Everything in capital in null.
Okay. So I run.
And then control enter. So now you see here I have now 9 variables. One more I have eliminated. Got it? Try to do
Okay,
it.
yes, it has reduced to 10. Okay.
It is working
Thank
now?
Yes, it's working now. Thank you, sir.
So null will remove the whole column. Okay. And we could not remove the element from a vector. The name, the value we could remove, but we could not remove the space. It will be there. Okay. So we could use the NA instead of that, but we could append the, we could not reduce the length of the vector, but we could increase the length of the vector. I want to add one another element in this fourth element, which we would the 4. The 3 length was previously I have 3 length. If I show you this X, so it is the India, USA, and NA, and the 4th position I want to use China, and I run this, and I will show you X now. So there is India, USA, NA, and China. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, it is an inbuilt data set. Picture. Is that clear to all?
Yes, sir.
So we could add the elements in the vector, but we could not reduce the size of vector. Okay. Now, this was all about our vector. The next data type is the list. Okay. In the vector, if vector is numeric, or also in the character vector, we could perform some operation, not the mathematical in the character vector. We have the some different operation we could perform over there. I will tell you later. But in list, we could not perform any operation. This is the demerit of list. But in list, we could put sublist inside a list. We could put vector inside a list. We could put data frame inside list. Even matrix, array, everything you could put in a list.
So what is the list?
List I will explain you. I will give you the definition of list properly. Just a moment. I'll show you the complete detail of list. Lists are our objects which contain elements of different types, like numbers, characters, strings, whatever you want to put in the list. As I explained, you could put the matrix, you could put the data frame in it. Okay, that is just this, but we could not perform the arithmetical operation over there in the list. Okay, so I will explain you how we create the list. You could better understand. So I am taking the L1, the object name of the list, and the function we are in the vector we were using C, and small c for the combine function. Here we will use the list itself, small, and I am just making a pure list. Now I run this, and I will show you this list. List is always, we print the list, it would be vertical. It will not be a horizontal. You see the vector is horizontal always. The list is vertical. This list treat each element as a sublist. So it is the first sublist, the first element is 3. Second sublist, first element is 2. Third sublist, first element is 0. So every element is treated as a sublist element. It is the element of sublist. Does that make sense to everyone? And now I am making a list. In this list, I am making one using one vector, integer vector, using one general vector I am making, and one more vector. And one list inside the list. This is all I am taking. I run this and I print this. So this is my list. Okay, I will show you this. You see the first list is -2 to 10. Is a vector. So vector is in the horizontal form and the list is in the vertical form. It is the
Sir, first list 2 to 10, then we have to close the bracket?
No.
No need.
It is the integer vector. No? In integer vector, there is no need to close the vector. You are using the you are using the column between them. So it will create a integer vector. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So -2 to 10, and here is another vector. That the 4317. It is the another vector. There is a list. List is vertical. You see. So here you see that is the first sublist. The first element is -2, then second and third. It is the second sublist. Is a vector. Third sublist, and the fourth sublist. In the fourth sublist, first sublist. Because I have explained you in the list, every element is a sublist. So in the fourth sublist, it is the first sublist. The first element is mango. In the fourth sublist and the second sublist, first element is cherry. In this way, it is giving. Now, if I want to access some item from it, I want to access the item from it. So what I will use? I will use the bracket, square bracket. And there are sublist. There's a vector. So I have to use the double square bracket for that. I want to choose this one, Mumbai. So it is the first, second, and third. And this is the fourth sublist. So this is the second, third sublist I am choosing. And this is the first element in this. So I will use the single square bracket and the 1. And if I run this, I will get the Mumbai. What? Now, you tell me I have to choose banana.
What one stands over here?
I have to choose banana.
Three
What?
is third sublist. Sir, three is third sublist and one is
one is the element.
First element means.
First element.
Okay.
So element always write in the single square bracket.
Okay.
Just a moment. Are you getting my voice or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just tell you one thing here. I want to choose this one.
Sir, fourth list.
Yeah.
And sublist will be 3.
Correct. It is banana. Suppose I have one more list here. Okay.
Sir, this is the list in the fourth list.
No, it is the in fourth sublist. This is another sublist inside that.
Inside.
Okay. You look at this. This is the first, second, and third. This is the fourth sublist. In the fourth sublist, these are the free elements in the sublist: mango, cherry, and banana. Then there is another sublist. Where is Naresh, Savita, and Mahesh. So now I have to access this Savita. What I will do? It is the first, second, third, and fourth. So first I will write fourth. In fourth, it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Understand? In the fourth, it is the first sublist, second sublist, third sublist, and fourth sublist. I will write the again double square bracket and 4. Okay. And then final element, Savita. It is in the single square bracket. Second. Does that make sense to everyone? I run this. You see how many sublists are there? Men 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is. In this sublist, there is another sublist. Okay. So first, I will choose the main sublist, which is fourth number. Okay. So I again write L. 4 sublist I have chosen. So now I am here. In the 4 sublist, we know that every element in a list is a sublist. In the 4 sublist, this is the first sublist of 4. This is the second sublist of 4. This is the third sublist of 4. And this is the fourth sublist of 4. Understand this? Up to here. Any doubt, Vijay Anand? Kadilma? Megha?
Yes, I'm getting error. So.
Are you getting it or not?
So, sir, if you want to.
I'm getting error from the first one.
I just write here. Don't worry. I will show you.
Sir, why we write 2 times 4?
I am telling you. This is the first, second, third, and this one is 4. Okay, this whole. Correct? So first 4 is, we are selecting this one. Got it? So this first 4, we are selecting this one. And in this sublist, we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. This 4 is for this. Got it? Any doubt? This
So
list
even
is
if I want
inside
to
this list.
extract Mahesh,
Or we are extracting what? Savita. Okay. Final destination is Savita. So the final we will write in the small bracket. It is the, from here 4, which position? 1, 2, 3. So it is the 2. Got it? Megha? Okay. Fidelma, have you got it now? Yeah.
So sublist we write in double brackets and elements we write in single brackets.
Single bracket. Elements always in single bracket. Okay. Final destination is the element, or always write the element in the single bracket. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone?
So whenever we write list, that comes means after mentioning list at once, and whenever we mention list, it becomes a sub list. Is that so?
That's every element in the list is treated as a sub list. Mango is a sub list, first sub list of this list. This is the second sub list. This is the third sub list. This is the fourth sub list. Okay. Is it clear? You could also see here when you write this, you see that I will show you here 443, 442, first element. Okay, in this way it is giving me. It is the sub list, it is showing its sub list. But we are getting the single one because the element we find the element. So instead of this double bracket, we are using the single bracket when we access it. More thing remains in the list. We will continue tomorrow. Okay. We will continue it tomorrow. The more things we have remain in the list, and tomorrow we study about the matrix and the arrays also. And we try to finish up to the data frame if we able to finish it.
So
Okay.
one question, so how do we go back to the prompt that you were talking about previously? How do we go back to the prompt if there is a, say a plus sign has come in? How do we go back to the prompt? You have said that before, I lost it. So
I am not getting what, Anmol, what you are asking about? Yeah.
Sir, you had said that that going back to the prompt, like it becomes difficult if there is a plus sign in between.
Okay, that is escape button you could use. You put the cursor on the console.
Okay.
And use the escape button.
Okay.
Okay. That is, we could use that. Sometimes we stuck there in the with plus sign, or we don't have any idea what to do with that. So we use put the cursor over in their console and then press the escape button 1 time, 2 time.
Yes.
Then you will get the prompt sign.
Okay.
So do we have any, do we have these codes written anywhere so we can just go through them? We need to learn.
We will share this. I will show you what we are going to share with our prime
Sir, how do we open a project that was previously saved?
I will show you that.
Oh.
So you see that we will send you this R-Core 1 script today. We will share with you. So you will get this script. Are you get okay? I just share it so you could see it. I just share the screen. This script we will share with you. So here you see we have written everything in a comments. You read it. Vector, list, matrix, array, data frame. So vector we have shown here. The vectors are the most basic R data, and we have given every detail here. So then you could run this
It
script.
would be for only paid student, right?
This is for the paid student. So you could run this. Everything is written in this script. We have also shared the PPT of this. Okay, so this just you have to run first it, and then you try in a blank script and you use your own command. Understand?
Thank you.
So this is the whole script. It's a very big script. The list, everything we have given about the list. We have prepared the list and we have worked on list, or the video link you also get. You could watch the video also. Somewhere you stuck.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So
Yes.
everything is there. Matrix and data frame, everything. So you could better do it. After completion this, then I will give you one assignment. One page assignment. There would be 5 questions or the 6 questions. There would be a result, and then you have to run the command. How you get that result? Okay. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
You could watch the video later on, Johnson, and you could catch whatever you have missed. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We meet tomorrow at the same time. Thanks, everyone.
Very good session,
Mikesh ji,
sir.
are you there?
Very
Yes,
good
sir.
session.
Yes, sir.
So thank you very much, everyone. Once again, tomorrow same time, all of you please be here. 7:75 will start, because we always have that previous session 5 to 7. So after that we start. So sir need break of 5-10 minutes. That's why we start 7:05, 7:10. So let's meet again tomorrow. And in case anyone has any concern regarding study material or certificate or any other concern, please mail us, WhatsApp us. All of you have the WhatsApp link, right? So join the group, and in case if you don't have, just mail us. We'll share you the WhatsApp group link. So tomorrow 7 o'clock we are meeting. And any other queries? Let me check. There's something which I miss. Okay, so all of you are okay with that. I'm sure that all of you must have enjoyed the session. So you can just click on the react button, clap or thumbs up for sir. And also thank you our representative from Nigeria, Mr. Okubasi Ekanem. So
thank you too.
I'll just highlight that his spotlight him. So he is the one who is our representative in Nigeria. And also if somebody is that willing to join the organization as a representative, just mail us. We'll try to help you. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night. Take care, all of you.
Okay. See you again tomorrow.
Thank
See
you,
you
sir.
tomorrow.
Okay.